division. Well, so far in this round, both men showing each other a lot of respect. Neither one really landing with anything. Ward is trying to get the jab working a little bit and trying to get the range. Abraham, hands as usual, held high, blocking the punches.
And the prize for the winner of this, remember, it's going to be a place in the final of the Super 6. That's likely to take place in November or December, and it will be against either Carl Froch or Glenn Johnson, a fight from Atlantic City, which you are going to be able to watch on Sky Sports.
Pretty quiet opening round, both just trying to find their range, neither one really connecting that well.
So a cagey opening, and a tricky one to... Andre Ward, the taller man in the red shorts. SOG down his hip. Son of God, it stands for. Ward, a devout Christian, away from the ring. Says that he has ambitions after boxing. He wants to either be a broadcaster, and ultimately his desire is to be a minister, to be a preacher.
Well, he needs to start to use the ring a little bit more. He's trying to do that in the second round, getting the jab working. Abraham covering up, landing with his own jab there.
Interesting canvassing a bit of opinion over in Las Vegas last week. I was speaking to Glenn Johnson about this fight, who's a pretty shrewd judge who's been around the block. And in his opinion, he said he wasn't convinced that Ward was going to be able to hurt Abraham, and that Abraham might just have the ability to walk through him, and the test would come when he lands, and he believed that he would.
Well, starting to get through there. Nice little combination from Ward, 3 punches. The third of which is getting to the guard. But it's Abraham that's doing the hunting. He's coming forward, trying to pin the world champion down.
Ward's last 3 fights have all been in his hometown, Oakland. Here in Carson, maybe not quite getting the hometown advantages. Those are the hooks that Abraham will be wanting to tee off as this fight unfolds. Got through with a couple of body shots.
Ward can redo.
Abraham, never the greatest footwork, and doesn't slip a great deal, does he? Just chooses to block, and then when he gets into range, really look to tee off, to unload. Rival sets of fans chanting their support.
But so far, he does look quite strong in this fight. He's pushing forward. Abraham walking on a few jabs, though, and that's what Ward's got to do. He's got to keep the range there, keep upsetting the rhythm of Abraham.
Abraham's won a fair few fights in his career late. He keeps that danger, that punch power, right the way through the rounds. Interesting contest thus far. Ward throwing more shots, but a lot of them being taken on the gloves of Abraham, who's keeping, as ever, that tight defence.
Good left hand there from Abraham.
Good hand speed.
Abraham doing okay in this round. He's just slightly, he seemed ruffling the feathers of Andre Ward.
Ward certainly not dominating Abraham as Carl Froch did, not at this stage anyway.
A bit more. Taking the punches from Ward on the gloves. Probably doing enough to just nick that round, Abraham.
Such an intimidating middleweight. Although he struggled to make the weight in the later stages of his 10 defences of that IBF middleweight title, he certainly had a really intimidating presence. He's not quite carried that through here. Maybe he can re-establish it. Perhaps he can upset the odds. British odds makers were making Ward an 8-1 on favourite for this. Abraham just a little bit, as they say in the horse world, friendless in the market.
Well, Abraham not doing enough work in this round, stalking Ward.
Well, it's as though maybe Ward thought, or maybe his corner thought, Abraham was the one who was roughing him up in the last round, and here there's a little bit of a declaration of intent, as much as to say, I will not be messed around, and Abraham comes in and lands his best punch of the round so far, that right hand, and now he's going looking for Ward. Tends to fight in spurts, Abraham, and now he's going to look to try and power it on in the closing stages of this fourth round. Best action of the fight so far, maybe.
Yeah, Ward coming out of it well, though, now taking the fight to Abraham and looking good.
The WBA Super Middleweight title and the Super 6 semi-final. Ward, we've got ahead. Taller man in the lighter red-coloured shorts. He's ahead at this stage on our cards. Abraham again forced to cover up. Try and keep that tight, high-held glove defence. Turn the right hand in nicely.
So he's covering the punches through the middle, but this is where Ward's got to be looking for punches around the side of those arms and to the body. Bring the hands down, bring the punches in arcs around the sides.
Abraham's footwork at the moment, Glenn, just not cute enough to cut off the ring and to provide him the opportunity to get his own punches off.
Now this is quite positive now for Andre Ward.
In my book, Ward was the one who was out of order there, more than Abraham.
Well, I think it was a little bit tit for tat there. Abraham just hitting him back for Ward doing the similar thing.
Well, he might be a pious man outside the ring, Andre Ward, but in there, he doesn't take any nonsense, does he?
No, well, can't afford to. Around the side, he picks it up now with a big barrage of punches to the body of Ward, but a little scrappy in his efforts.
Well, they didn't look the best, did they? There was a couple of them looked a bit slappy to me, a bit of the inside of the glove, maybe.
Maybe a sense of frustration coming in for Abraham as he's been beaten to the jab time and time again.
That's a good body shot from Ward around the back of the elbow.
Yeah, Ward just starting to go through the gears a little bit now.
There's how Glenn's got it. 59 to 56. Ward in control, but really he is coming on strong here now.
Very strong. This is very good work from Ward, who's looking to plant his feet and land heavy blows. Maybe feels that Abraham is starting to weaken.
I'm sure that Carl Froch and Glenn Johnson, both of whom training hard for their June the 4th meeting in Atlantic City, will be keeping a very close watch on this. Ulif Wegner shouting his instructions to Arthur Abraham at ringside from the corner, and he will be desperate to see his man produce more than he is right now, because he's starting to take a little bit of a beating.
Well, Abraham doing less
A variety of Ward's work.
His concentration is very good. He's looking for the spots. He knows there's a high held guard there. He's trying to get round it, up the middle, round to the body.
You can see Abraham glowing as he tried to come forward. Another big round for Andre Ward, the champion. And it's becoming one-way traffic.
And with somebody who's very skillful
And is certainly not intimidated in any sense. The man who physically looks the stronger and looks the boss now is the champion, not Abraham. Referee's done a pretty good job of Abraham showing he's prepared to gamble. He's trying to throw bombs now.
for their wild, uncouth punches. But he needs to try and do something to upset the rhythm of Ward. He's going into a big lead now with some good boxing.
Lunging in from distance, Abraham. And Ward, more often than not, seeing them coming. And hand speed. I've been really impressed with him tonight so far.
Yes, he hasn't really quietened down in any of the rounds. He's kept a good work rate, good concentration. Thrown into the consummate professional, Andre Ward. Because he still thinks of himself as a challenger whenever he fights, still hungry.
Good mentality to have that, isn't it? I remember joking. And power from Ward. And a couple of shots from Abraham just to show that he's still in there pitching. If the referee even had a thought in his head about whether or not this was becoming too one-sided, a couple of punches just to remind him that Abraham still is in there, still swinging. But he's not come remotely close to doing enough to win this round. And you can't see how he's going to get back into this fight as Andre Ward, the champion, Ward. Has there been a meaningful punch thrown by Abraham so far in this round? Left hand at last. A glancing blow from the challenger. And even this corner now, silenced, perhaps recognising and realising the inevitability of what is now panning out. Abraham trying to leap in behind the right hand, but he telegraphed his intentions and it was countered with ease by Ward.
Tries again with a big one.
Just one more 3-minute period to retain his crown and take a place in the Super 6 final. Abraham, quite simply, has got to find the knockout punch.
Professional after an excellent amateur career.
Abraham trying to swing. He's got his hands down now contemptuously, trying to invite Ward in, trying to get him into range.
Well, he's got that gunslinger attitude. Abraham just going to let it all go now, trying with every punch to find out
what's the left hand from Abraham, but why wasn't he throwing more of those earlier?
Because that's what it needed. It needed him to take chances earlier. This is a little bit last bit.
Going looking for Ward, and Ward holding his ground. There's the final bell. There can be only one answer. There can only be one winner. Abraham knows it. Ward knows it.
11, all three in favor of the winner. Continuing to the final for the Super 6 World Boxing Classic. And still, the WWE champion of the world, Andre S.O.G. Ward.
It was assured, it was dominant, it was coordinated, and what we know from here, as Andre Ward wins this fight, is that it's going to take something very, very special to beat him.
So